Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Vintage Sewing Machine Garage. I wanted to talk a little bit about fixing up an old sewing machine case. This is one of the lovely bent wood or waterfall style, whatever you want to call them, Singer carrying case. Now these cases were built really well, and they had to be, because remember how heavy the machines are that they're holding. What people used to think of as portable back in the day is a little different today. But just wanted to show you, and this I'm showing you things that are pretty commonly found. You shouldn't be surprised if you see this. So you see two products I think I've talked about before. One of them is Elmer's Pro Bond Max, and the other one is Howard's Restoreafinish. First I want to talk about the Pro Bond, the glue. Like, why do I have the glue out? Well, sometimes you will have, you may have some of the veneer of these beautiful woods that will sometimes peel away. I don't really have any veneer loss on this one, but you can have it. And certainly we've got some finish loss here on the other side. But I'm going to show you guys, we'll actually see what we can do to get that in better shape. But I did want to also mention to you the where else you might need to place glue. Sometimes you will get a case and maybe someone has dropped it. Would not be surprising over the history, right? I don't believe that happened with this one, but I wanted to show you. I have literally in the past had cases that came apart in areas like right here. And it could be just due to age. Again, they're holding a very heavy machine. And you can get clamps and you can glue these little areas that can come loose. Sometimes they're just loose, and then sometimes they're literally coming apart. I have one case that I got, and I'm going to have to reassemble it. The sides have all come loose. They're all there though, I think. So that'll be a different video, I suppose. But I thought might as well show you this, guys, because if you see this often enough on a YouTube video, you'll realize it's pretty common. So I'm going to take the little retainer clip here. I'm going to tilt the machine back so you guys can see. I went in, and these are the corner supports. I don't know if they're called corner dowels. I'm not exactly sure. You guys who are more experts at furniture, let me know, or woodworking. But these had several, both of these, all four, there are four of these in the case, and they all four do several things. They reinforce corners, really well made furniture. If you ever look underneath it, depending on the kind of furniture it is, but often you will see they go the extra mile. They add in these reinforcements to help with flexing, because anything made of wood, can flex. Now, if I tilt, it's kind of strange. I'm going to have to move the camera because trying to tilt this forward is a little weird. But if you look at the two supports on the inside, you'll see one here and then one over here on the right. These are on the front end. Both of these, when I got the machine, it was kind of sunken down a little bit in the front. That's because these two supports had basically come undone, right? I guess the old glue after, what is this, 70 years, something like that, gave way. But thankfully they were here. Now, if you get a case and these are missing, you could, if you're a woodworker, you could easily make them, or you could even ask someone to make them for you. It wouldn't cost very much in wood, obviously. And again, they are triangle shaped because they're here to brace the overall case structure, but they also, of course, support the machine, because the machine, you want it to be relatively flush with the surface of the case, but it also needs support. So you'll see this is a little recessed here, and it is shaped with the same curve as the machine bed. So I took the same Pro Bond glue that I just mentioned to you guys, and I put some underneath this piece on the bottom so that it glued to the bottom of the case, and then it also had glue on these two sides. And I pressed it up tight. Normally I would use a clamp, but in this case, because of the weight of the machine and the way it's pushing on here and resting, it's actually a great kind of a set or a clamp, not really a clamp, but it's kind of a nice way to set this so that as the glue cures and dries, it'll be in good shape. Now you might think, well, why did you have to put glue over here if these were fine? Well, there were some gaps here, and I thought I'll go ahead and add some glue and that's going to just help to reinforce those in case they ever contemplate coming out, right? So anyway, that's the purpose of the glue. Sometimes the bottom will have come loose and you'll need to glue that. But these cases were so well made, if you've got all the parts, it doesn't take very long to assemble them and glue them back. You just need to, again, have some sort of clamping system, because with most wood glues, they really are most effective when you're holding pressure against that as the glue dries. So there you go. Now for the next thing, I wanted to mention to you guys these. Now these are felt pads that go under. They originally sold to go under different things, usually a piece of furniture, right? So the table here that you see, let's see, I'll show you the table legs, like down here, and I have some on the bottom of these legs, but the cases may have originally come with some sort of felt or rubber support, but they're long gone usually. And you really want to add these. So I've actually took 4 of these. I got one left on this little sheet. And it's just a felt piece. You buy them in a hardware store or even in a home, big box building supply store. They're very inexpensive normally. And these come with their own adhesive, so you don't have to glue them. They have their own glue. You peel and stick, basically. And I've done that so that when this case sits, the new owner will be able to put this right on to a work table surface and not worry about the scratching. And again, it's an easy fix, but it's one that, maybe it's your machine. And you might say, who cares? Well, actually, you might want to, because you can really scratch and gouge either a wooden floor or a piece of furniture if you're just scraping wood against wood. So, like I say, it took me, 3.5 minutes to put it on. And that was getting gravy, as they used to say. It was a fairly simple and quick way to spruce something up. Now, let's take a look at our cover. Now, like most of these covers, a lot of these covers have been physically damaged, and they can be a little more challenging to repair. This one is not. Cosmetically, it's rough, but remember, when this was purchased, I don't know how often this machine was moved in its life, but over time, maybe it got handed down to another person who was not the original owner, and so forth. So we are going to apply the product that you guys have seen me use on sewing tables. I may have done one of these cases. I don't even remember. I've got so many videos, it's getting hard to remember what I've done, especially if we go back a number of years. And I've got the cherry color. And again, for those of you who have not seen my other videos on using this product is interesting. It's not a stripper. Okay, there are different ways to refinish furniture. And to do it properly requires a lot of time, some skill, and when I say a lot of time, I mean a lot of time to do it properly. And not only are my clients not willing to pay me to refinish tables and cases, I repair them, and I like to use this product because it has solvents and oils and dye in it. That's my layman's. I don't know what the actual recipe is, but it's used to help smooth out light surface damage, to help, thus the name Restoreafinish. It's going to give more color back, it will give sheen, it will feed the wood, and then we can go back with a furniture polish. I'm not going to be applying varnish to this piece, because the Restoreafinish, I don't know that you can actually varnish over it because it is an oily substance. And again, you guys have seen me use this before, and this is like, hey, we'll do a before and after like they do on the infomercials, So I take Restoreafinish, I put it, you can use a rag, any old rag will do, and I'm going to take this and just watch, guys. I've got some good natural light here. Let's make sure what light is hitting us. So I'm going to start here, right? I'm just going to literally come down from the top. Now, just that one swipe, my God, that's a dramatic change, right? This, if you use a stripper, you're going to have to strip everything off. It's all or nothing with stripping, and you can still end up with staining, and then you have to restain. It is a really huge process. One of my viewers a while back said, maybe what you're doing is really conservation. And I love that term, because I'm trying to restore or overhaul or, revive the machines as well as the tables and the cases, but I'm not here to totally rip them apart and start over. I've done that on occasion when I had a machine that wouldn't cooperate, but it's not necessary, and it's really missing the greater point here. And people have very subjective ideas of what is patina versus what is something that just looks worn. But this product is very forgiving. It does not take away every scratch. In fact, let's do this whole front here and we'll take a look and see. In fact, I'm going to raise the camera because over here it's especially what you're looking at, guys. Say, what is he showing me here? What you are seeing is essentially just the wearing away with time. It could have been breaking down from sunlight, physical wear. But there was, of course, a stain, and then there was a varnish. It was either a lacquer or shellac product, exactly which I do not have access to those trade secrets. But watch this, guys. This, again, we're almost getting down to the wood. Now, one of the things I've learned a few things about Restoreafinish is that if you have areas that are very bare in terms of the wood, it can sometimes be splotchy because, of course, wood absorbs stain differently than wood that has some varnish or sealer still on it. Okay, so you're not expecting something to look perfect, but what we do is we kind of rub it in gently, right? I'm not scraping. I'm not even using steel wool here, and what it's doing is it's filling in those areas. Okay. Now, fortunately, there was enough of the original shellac or lacquer still in the wood, so it helped act like sort of like a sanding sealer. If you don't know what sanding sealer is, you can look that up. I don't know that I'm going to do a video on sanding sealer, but it's a way to fill in some of the pores of the wood so that when you go back with this product, it's not going to leave. Sometimes it splotches, and that's the best you can do, right? It depends on the type of wood, how much finish is left. It can be very difficult to ascertain that. Now, I'm coming around. I'm going to be extra careful. Let's push the camera back down this way. Be extra careful around your decals. This is the original Singer decal from 1948 to 54. That's the range when I believe this machine was manufactured, because it was manufactured at St. John's. The Singer St. John's factory in Canada, their serial number records are a little different, so you can get close, but you don't always know the exact year. It's okay, particularly with a Singer. It's okay. So I'm going to come around again. Be extra gentle with these old. I don't know if this Restoreafinish would take off the decal or not. It may depend. It may depend on what. It might depend on how much of the lacquer or shellac varnish is still on top, because remember, they would have applied a coating of lacquer or sealer, whatever they're using, over the decal to help protect it. So I may just come in there with some cotton swabs. I may do that just to be extra cautious. You don't want to kick yourself because you're the one who actually ended up with causing the case to lose more of its look and history. And you'll notice I went right into this. Here's a little bit of place where you'll see some missing veneer, just a piece there. I might try to fill it in with a filler or just leave it. It's not that bad. And we'll come up here. But again, now the other thing you want to remember, guys, is when you use Restoreafinish, and I learned this, I think it's in the instructions, but you really want to remember that when you apply this product, it's not like with stain where you wipe it a little bit and you leave it. Okay, so as you see what I'm doing here, I'm letting it rest for just a few minutes. And I'm doing this section here. Now, then I want to come back and I want to use a dry cloth, a clean dry rag rather. And what am I doing with that? I'm going to come back and I'm going to wipe the excess. Okay, I'm literally going to come over here and just wipe down. It's not like when you're wiping stain, because the color, you can add more and you may get some deeper colors by wiping more. But the reason you do this, guys, is you want to wipe off any excess, because this product is mild. Okay, it's not a strong solvent, but it is one. And if you leave it on there, you leave it on there for hours and hours and maybe even overnight. I did that once to one of my tables, and it actually ended up wicking underneath the varnish and created some strange patterns. So just be aware of that. And Restoreafinish, the Howard's folks, do tell you in the instructions, do not leave on, wipe it off. You know, if it's on there a few minutes, let's see, I'm trying to remember what it said exactly for how long you leave it on there. Let's see. It says, okay, cover a small area at a time and wipe dry immediately. Okay, so we're not leaving this to sit. I've wiped everything I've just put on here. But let's step back a minute and just look at the difference. That's pretty remarkable. Okay, and I didn't get much splotchiness, although you could, depending on the condition of your piece. So don't assume yours will come out exactly like this. But what a dramatic difference, and very little time. So I went and got one of my cotton swabs here. And again, cotton swabs, just as they are known to do with many things like alcohol or oil or whatever you're using to clean with, this is the precision tip ones I was telling you guys about. These are the brand name for these, because I haven't seen these in the generic versions yet. But I'm going to use this almost like a felt brush, and I'm going to take the Restoreafinish. Let me zoom in here. You guys might be able to see a little bit better, and I can get hopefully a little closer to reach it. So I'm going to take this. And notice I'm just going to come in here, you know, I'm really, you know, this is kind of, maybe you don't care about that much detail, right? But what am I doing? This product is gently softening the old varnish, okay? And it's adding in color where the color has disappeared. And for what this product is, it's not a refinisher, okay? You may have a piece of furniture that this stuff cannot save. Some pieces are just too far gone. But when you consider how gentle the product is, okay, because we're not trying to erase everything from the past. We're trying to basically revive the old finish instead of stripping and putting in new. Okay, so and then we can even come over here to that area I mentioned to you, and I think this actually will look better than if I fill it in. I have one of those furniture wax fill pen things, and they're okay for certain purposes, but I actually like this. I really like this putting this in this situation. Let's see, we can even come along the base. Now I have brushed this clean. This is something else I wanted to mention to you guys. I've seen people, they will clean things. A lot of times they'll put liquids on. Always try your best to take a brush. You could even take your lint brush if you didn't have any other brush, and clean out dust and dirt when it's dry, because you can get it out of there. Once you put a liquid on it, it tends to turn it into kind of a muddy paste, and it's harder to get it off of what you're trying to clean. So again, I can come here along the base with the Q-tip, the precision point Q-tip. And again, this, you know, you can say, well, you're getting out into the details and the weeds. Yes, but again, I'm gonna, you know, the client is going to get this, and you know, aesthetics matter to lots of folks. They matter to me too. So I want to provide the new owner, you know, with a nice start here. And this, you know, you want to be able to show this off, maybe show it in, maybe, you know, in your, someplace in your home, and you want it to look as nice as possible. You know, who wouldn't want that? So there you go, guys. There is, I can come back here before I end the video. I'll come back and show you how it performs on this lower piece here. But again, the before and after are pretty darn dramatic. And I just, like I said, I've been using this for a while. Those of you who are new to it or haven't seen the other videos I've done, and literally, you can see it's just transforming right in front of me here. Important to understand the limits of this, right? It's not a miracle worker. If you have a piece of furniture that's just chewed up all the pieces, maybe you do have a refinish in mind. But this is certainly worth a try. Now I'm immediately going to come back, okay? And what I'm doing is I'm mopping up with a dry rag the excess. You may not see much on there, but there is a fine film that lays on top. And by removing that, you're basically doing what they tell you, okay? And the only thing left to do, I'll let this dry overnight, and then tomorrow come back with some of the Howard's Feed and Wax. Now you can use other furniture waxes. I mean, I I suppose they would be just fine. But there you go, guys. I think that's, again, one of the best products I've ever found for trying to bring something back, making it not brand new, but a lot closer than it was before we did this to the beautiful case it was in 1948, 1950. Thanks for watching, everyone. I sure appreciate it. Stay tuned. We'll have videos rolling out over the winter. And normally I am posting them on weekends when you guys have more time to sit back and take a look. And so anyway, feel free to subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time.